Greetings, everyone. Welcome once again. I am Amisal, and this is On the Show with Amisal. Great news. So, can you just briefly tell us, according to you, what makes a single parent?
Lack of fathers who's absent, those who don't want to take responsibility for their kids, who don't want to be involved in their lives, sudden death occurs, and then you're left alone to be strong,
Yes.
to raise your kids by yourself.
It's always great when you're pregnant, when you give birth. After 2 years, after 3 years, things change.
Yes.
The pressure becomes too much. Why is it that, it's just these men who easily give up? Why do they easily give up? And when they do give up, what then should you as a parent, what do you do?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's not about focusing on what you've lost, but what you've gained.
Yes,
What
yes,
you've
definitely,
gained.
yeah.
You've gained, like in my case, I've gained two beautiful girls. Yes, I'm not gonna lie to you. There were times when I wanted to break down. I wanted to break down physically and mentally. But to be honest with you, if I'm thinking about my 10-year-old, she was 4, and I remember there was this time there was no food in the house. I was not working. I was stressed. I was sitting outside, and I was overwhelmed, and tears started flowing. And she just came. She had this balloon. She put it in a butt, and she was looking at me like this, and just doing funny things. And she made me smile, and she said, "Mommy, it will be okay."
Yes, definitely it will.
After she said that, I just stood up and I knew exactly what I had to do. I had to be the mother. I had to make a plan. Yeah.
So in today's show, we are going to talk about single mothers or single parents. So we just want to deliver a message to all the single parents out there, and just to let them know that they are not alone. There are so many parents outside there who are struggling financially, emotionally, in all angles. So basically, what triggered me to introduce this topic of today is, recently I've been hearing so much of mothers, of women, especially women in particular, who are giving up, so easily. The pressure becomes so heavy on them, and they don't seem to find like a stable ground whereby they can actually be these type of parents who are able to cater and to take care of their children in their house. So they seem to turn to suicide. They seem to be very suicidal, and these are things that are happening each and every single day in our community, in our society, around us, and sometimes even with friends, with people that we know. So I wanted this message to be a positive message to single parents out there. In particular, I want to address women, because we are the ones at the end of the day, when there is a breakup, when there is a separation between two people, it is the woman who ends up living or staying with the children in the house. And sometimes it's not even sometimes, most of the times, it's not easy to cope. So you find those who end up with depressions, those who are overstressed, and then when there is no solution, when there is no one knocking on your door to offer any kind of assistance, you turn to things that are negative. You take your own life. So we just want to give this message to be positive and to say, please, 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 you are not alone. So today's show, we are going to discuss some of the things that makes a single parent. We are going to discuss, some points that single parents struggle with, or single parents they're facing. How do you get through? every day? How do you take care of your children? What is the hope, or what is the future? What does the future hold for your children as a single mother? So I'm not alone. I'm going to introduce the guest of today. I have a special guest with me that is going to join us today, and she herself is a single mother. So she's just going to share her experience and possibly answer just a few questions. So please just help me to welcome my guest of today on the Army Cell Show, Miss Vina Stein.
Hi.
Miss Vina Stein, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great as well. You look so beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank
Let
you.
me welcome you. I want to welcome you to the Army Cell Show, and I hope that just from hearing from you, we can save even one life.
Yes.
We can actually just speak to one parent
Yes.
outside there. So can you just briefly tell us who is Elvina Stein?
Well, I'm Elvina Stein. I'm a Christian first. I'm a single mother of two beautiful girls, which the firstborn just finished our matric.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been 18 hard years, but we did it.
But you did it. You did it. Yes. That is so. It's very nice. So just so that we can quickly understand. You are a single parent. You've got an 18-year-old who just matriculated. That is such wonderful news, and you know many of them, they don't reach to that age.
I'm telling you.
Some of them even just because of the stress of the mother, you know, the parent at home alone is enough to drive them to turn to wrong substances,
Yeah.
especially to drugs and wrong friends and
Yes.
things like that. But your daughter has made it, and I'm sure that you are very proud of
I
her.
am so proud. I am so proud.
That is great news. So can you just briefly tell us, according to you, what makes a single parent?
What makes a single parent? Lack of fathers who's absent. Those who don't want to take responsibility for their kids, who don't want to be involved in their lives. Sudden death occurs, and then you're left alone to be strong.
Yes.
To raise your kids by yourself. Yeah. So yeah, that's what makes us to be single parents.
For those, I know that today there are so many who lack the responsibility. I know that there are so many men out there, they don't want the responsibility. It's always sweeter in the beginning. It's always great when you're pregnant, when you give birth. After 2 years, after 3 years, things change.
Yes.
The pressure becomes too much. Why is it that, you know, it's just these men who easily give up? Why do they easily give up? And when they do give up, what then should you as a parent, what do you do?
You know, the time when they give up, yes, obviously you're going through some difficulty, especially emotional pain.
Yes.
You know, you didn't realize or knew that you'll be disappointed. That person can just walk away. Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's not about focusing on what you've lost, but what you've gained.
Yes,
What
yes,
you've
definitely,
gained.
yeah.
You've gained, like in my case, I've gained two beautiful girls. Yes, I'm not gonna lie to you. There were times when I wanted to break down. I wanted to break down physically and mentally. But to be honest with you, if I'm thinking about my 10-year-old, she was 4, and I remember there was this time there was no food in the house. I was not working. I was stressed. I was sitting outside, and you know, I was overwhelmed, and tears started flowing. And she just came. She had this balloon. She put it in a butt, and she was looking at me like this, and just doing funny things. And she made me smile, and she said, "Mommy, it will be okay."
Yes, definitely it will.
You know, after she said that, I just stood up and I knew exactly what I had to do. I had to be the mother. I had to make a plan. You know, yeah. So your kids makes it easier.
Yes, they do. Definitely, they do. And I relate to that because, like, for me, I'm also a single parent. My son just turned 9, and I know that, each time that I face a difficulty, each time that I feel like I just want to give up, I look at my son. And then is the one thing that really makes me happy, is the one thing that gives me the strength as a parent
Yes.
to say, let me move on, let me
Yes.
do what I need to do.
Yes.
I have to do what needs to be done, and so that my son can actually have a future. So now, in being a single parent, in raising children all alone, so there's a lot that you have overcome.
Yes.
What would you say would be like the most struggles? What do single parents struggle with?
First of all, we struggle with finances. Whether you have money or not.
Or not?
There comes a time when you have to tell the teachers, listen here, this month I won't be able. Or you have to tell your child, I won't be able to buy you this, or something will lack in the house. So
Yes.
finances, and then also emotionally, you need strength. Emotionally,
Definitely.
you can have everything in this life, but if you mentally inside you're breaking down, nobody's gonna pick you up but
Nobody at all,
yourself.
yeah.
But yourself, so yeah.
And then the mental breakdown. I know that um, it comes with what we are facing daily, having to fail to provide
I'm telling
for
you,
our children,
painful.
especially in the house.
Yes.
When you look at the bread bin is empty, and then when you look at your purse is empty. Who do you turn to? Who do you call? Who do you ask? And most of the time you find yourself alone.
Yes, and also it's hard for yourself to just be humble. You have to be humble and humiliate yourself sometimes, just to provide and just to say to my child, listen, okay, this is what we have. Let's go with what we have. So, but luckily for me, I have my kids are very understanding. If I say no, it's no. If I say yes, it's yes.
Yeah.
Especially with my firstborn, um, when her father left, she was understanding. She was my sister. She was my mom sometimes. She was just there. She didn't go against what I said. She didn't give up on what I was saying. So yeah.
So you can say that you are actually raising a brave young woman.
Yes, I am.
That one day, even if you're not around,
Yes.
you know for sure
She'll be
that
taking
she can
care
take care of
her
her
sister,
siblings.
yeah.
So, like for you as a parent, what would be your most biggest fear?
My most biggest fear will be leaving my kids in this world. Other people won't treat your children the way
The
you
way you
treat
do.
them. And also, um, I'm going to be honest with you, there was a time in 2016 when I almost died. So giving up for me was a no, a big no, because I always said, God, please give me the strength. I want to see my child finish school. I want to see her get married. I want to see that they are living a life, a good life for themselves. They can provide. So please just give me the strength. And when it was a matric ball, I remembered my words while lying on my sick bed. I remembered those words, and I could smile. I could smile and say, thank you, Lord, because today I'm seeing my child's matric ball. And next I'll be seeing her 21st. Next I'll be seeing them getting married. You see, sometimes at that moment, we want to give up because we're tired. But when you think of your kids and how you will be leaving them, you don't know, the next person might say, your mother is not around anymore. You understand? And I don't want my kids going through that. I don't want. So yeah, that's my biggest fear, leaving.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that many parents out there would relate to. The fear of having to leave your kids alone, especially at such a young age. And then you tend to worry about, how are they going to make it? How are they going to survive? The next woman that walks in, the next man that walks in, are they going to treat my
Yes,
kids the
yes,
same? Are they
definitely.
going to take care of my
Yes.
kids? So I know that is the biggest, it's one of the biggest fears that us single parents we are facing.
Yeah.
So now, okay, I just want to understand, like, based on what you have been through so far as a single parent, what would be some of the challenges that you had to face?
Challenge I had to face, like leaving my kids to go to work, especially now me being in Cape Town, they're in Plettenberg Bay. So I have to support and also give advice from here. I'm not like physically in their lives. So especially the other night, my child got a diploma. I was not there. I was not there to support. So but my sister had a video call, mate. I could see everything on video call, but it is not the same as being present. That is not the same as being present. So yeah, that is.
And then how do you, based on what you have just mentioned, so your children are not, they are with your sister?
Yeah, it's been
And
3 years
it's
now.
been
Yeah.
3 years they
Yeah.
are with your sister.
Yes.
And I'm sure that she on the other hand, she's trying her best.
Yes.
Especially seeing that you are far away, so she needs to
Yes.
sort of stand in
Yes.
for you.
Yeah.
So how do you manage the upbringing of your kids? How do you manage?
My kids, I left my kids when they were already, the firstborn was 16, the baby was already 8. They know what mommy says, no is no, yes is yes. And also, I tell my sister, whatever happens in the house is their business.
It's their business.
They shouldn't call me. They sort it out there. It's just financially now I'm the one that's supporting. I'm the one, if they need help with school stuff, my daughter will call me. If she have an event at school, she would call me. Spelling bee and all of that. Yeah, she would just call me. And uh, when it's something special like a 18th birthday, I never miss important things like that. I make sure I go to support them.
So at least, even though physically you are not there, but you try to be there emotionally
Yes.
and in other ways
Yes.
as well. So how do you how does it what can you say about the whole just the whole point of being a single parent? How does it affect one both mentally and physically? Because I know that it's not something that is easy to go through.
Mentally, what builds you is your kids. They build you up. Yes, there's times that you want to break down. You want to go sit in a corner. You find yourself, but your kids will always be there, the ones to uplift you. And also, there is no time. There is no time to break down, because you run a household. You have to go to the schools. You have to make sure everything is fixed for them. So mentally, you don't have that ability to just break down. You break down for 5 minutes, then it's over. Physically, I'm gonna be that person that say physically, you just there. You just there. You in the moment. You do things in the moment. Consequences come afterwards. So you just do things in the moment.
So there are many who are so weak
Yes.
mentally.
Yes.
This is where we find them breaking down. And when they break down, they find themselves helpless. They find themselves alone. and they find themselves, they tend to sort of isolate
Yeah.
themselves
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
So now, is there a way that things can be made easier generally? Is there a way that, this job of being a single parent, can it be made easier in any way?
You need positive people around you. You need awesome friends. You need family members that's not going to put you down, that's not going to talk bad about you. There must be someone that you can go to and say, hey, listen, I need help. I need help. But when you have negative people around you, they will put you more down. They will put you in that type of corner where you feel now is the time to run. But being the single parent, and when you have awesome kids, you raise your kids, the kids respond to how you raise them. So if you raise your kids to be strong and to be independent, then you don't have to go run sit in a corner. If you tell your children, listen here, tonight we only have rice and potatoes, they should be understanding and not be brats, not say, listen here, but I want chicken and what. Because if they understand that they will make it easier for you. Don't spoil your kids, please.
Prepare them for the worst.
When I was still with my husband, the time my firstborn, my firstborn was 8 when he left. So she was spoiled. She was spoiled, but she adopted. She adapted to what we were going through, and she was already, her mind was clear to, I need to help mommy. I need to know that mommy is going to work now. You see, so yeah, she really had a brain. So yeah, I didn't have that struggles. So yes.
So in other words, we need some kind of positive influence around us.
Kids, yeah. You need friends that support you. No, you can't build friendships that's only there in good times.
In good times only.
You need friendships that's there in prayer. There's friendships that you can just call and say, hey, listen, I need you. And they'll be there like that. You see? So you don't need people that breaks you down. Get away from that immediately.
That is so true. Like for me, I found the one thing that assisted me and that gave me the strength was actually prayer.
Yes.
I found myself praying so much.
Yes.
At a point where, everything else, it didn't matter what was happening, I still looked up to God.
Yes.
I said to myself, I know that there is a God, and I know that eventually He's going to turn up.
You stay on your knees. You stay on your knees. Even with my kids, I wasn't working. We were actually living on grant, the kids' grant. So, but we never went to sleep hungry, never. So only because of God, we only depend on Him.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. Thank you so much, Ms. Alvina Steyn. Thank you so much for being with us on the show of today. I really hope that for those who are watching at home, I really hope that there was a message that came through. I hope that there is something that someone picked up from the show of today. If you are a single parent, whether you are male or female, whether you are a mother or a father, let us understand there is always hope.
Yes.
So if anything around you is negative, just like Ms. Venus Steyn said, withdraw. Shift and try to find something that can bring a positive mentality to your situation. If your friends, or family, they cannot add anything that is positive, just cut them off.
Yes.
And then find something that can work for you and for your kids, for your children. Keep yourself strong, and if you are a Christian, introduce them to God, introduce them to the work of God, and let them know that despite our circumstances, the situation that we face, there is a God who answers. So I just want to say thank you so much for being with us today, and for you viewers at home, thank you for tuning in, and if you know if the show of today really made sense to you, you know exactly what to do. Just give us a thumbs up, and subscribe or introduce somebody to on the show with Amisa. We always have exciting stories, and we'll always have a message that is for everyone, that everyone can interact with. So thank you so much for being with us. Before I forget, I actually have a little gift for our guest of today. So this is just, it's not gold and it's not silver, but it's a token of appreciation, and it comes with love from all of us and
Thank
from
you
the
so
people
much.
in the studio. Thank you so much for being with us. Please
Thank you
accept
very much.
this,
Thank
and we
you.
pray and that God will be
you.
with you and will strengthen you as you continue on this journey of raising your
Thank you
children.
so much.
So, viewers at home, thank you so much for being with us on the show of today, and we really appreciate you. We love you, and we want to welcome you. So, as I always say this, if you have a story to tell and anything to share, with people, of different circumstances, different situation, you are more than welcome to contact us, and we are going to make some time for you to be on the show. Thank you very much for being with us today, and may God bless you as you continue for the rest of your week. We are going to see you shortly. Have a good one. Goodbye.